Flying swimming pool. I will talk about the future of diving high through the column of water in the future. We may be able to invent the innovation that can make the water float on the air, like a large swimming pool. We can see a swimming pool floating like in the movie Tomorrowland. Humans can swim in a new form of flying pool in the air and maybe create the containers that can be wrapped, the water floating by using only air pressure. Water transportation in the air. To support the potable water as a new pattern of the future world, the future may have to transport water which is not in the ground anymore. A water pipe can serve water to the big city by floating on the sky. Large aquarium floating in the air, including the ability to invent things in the future world. Maybe in the near future, there may be a large aquarium floating in the air that rely on air pressure. Jetpack. What do I say to a jetpack? Is one in the near future to complete it? In the near future, it has turned out awesome. Everyone can fly by a personal jetpack. In every household that want to go on a long vacation resort, they can have a jetpack on trip without getting on the road anymore. Work at height. The workers who have to work at height after this might have lead them to work on a jetpack, such as the work on the bridge or skyscraper. Traffic jams problem. Hey guys, we're not talking about the future 50 years from now. Nowadays, many companies around the world produce and sell personal jetpack. It has many benefits in rush hour traffic jam. The future, if we have a personal jetpack, we are able to operate without traffic jam problem in the city anymore. Mechanism of the air jetpack. The mechanism of the air jetpack is to intake and compress air to spin the rotor and passing compressed air it out, including fuel and burn. The oxygen in the air is the key in the operation. Anyway, jetpack necessary to require air to operate. The first challenge in design is also a jetpack pilot wasn't burned into his leg. Dubai has bought jetpack for firefighting. The future is here now in Dubai. At the site of the United Arab Emirates, they buy 20 jetpack. While rescue need jetpack, they can bring the people trapped in the tallest building in the world to come out. It can go as high as 3,000 feet and can go up to the top floor of the building, flying at a speed 45 miles per hour, so it will reach the top of the tallest building in the world within a few minutes. Flying train. At present, there are many countries around the world do this research. That is, the aircraft could lift up the train just like flying train. Today, transportation problems that we faced and continue to solve this problem even though pollution issue in the large city. When you consider the amount of time to travel from one place to the another, it makes you have to rethink that there will be any way to get better. We brainstorming on the transportation industry. for centuries. That what we get nowadays, big train, high-speed train, and also clean vehicle. But if we want to evolve to better transport system to the next level, sometimes we need to look split. Now, the world's leading university has devised a system that is the aircraft can lift and drop a train on rails that can carry both people and objects flying up. This reduces the times and distance from the train station to the plane. In 2050, team had the imagination to transport over long distance from sky station where baggage and passengers in the train fly alongside with the plane by virtue of the pleasure to lift the plane and train to fly there. Aerotrain as innovation from Japan use the theory of fluid mechanics to move by using solar energy and wind, while high-speed trains still use the electromagnetic driving force. Aerotrain can float with aerodynamic force, so it can fly by using less energy than high-speed train. In 2020, we may be able to have wind-powered train for the first time in the world that can fly faster, more than 300 km per hour, and passenger transport more than 300 people. The aerotrain will use minimal energy as much as possible by using the principle of the flight of the big birds that can fly farther and low power consumption. Hoverboards become hot topic high-tech era and in the world at present. Everyone, whether children or adults, need to driving this technology, but it ever appeared in 1989 in the movie Back to the Future, which is the famous in that period. We all want to ride a skateboard that floats on the air, and in the real world today, the dream was successful. What is the hoverboard? Hoverboard is the platform moving floats above the ground and used for personal transportation based on movie Back to the Future. And some of the current company has produced a hoverboard without wheels and floating in the air success. For hoverboards, is no need device like wheels and tires, while scooters have wheels that make it gliding smoothly on different surfaces by battery-powered motor. But for hoverboards powered by air pressure through the air propeller, make it rise, is the latest technology for personal transportation. And we will see many companies that produce this production as new innovation in the future. How does it work? In the beginning, hoverboards use magnetic field, while some technology companies make it up by using the pedal and air pressure. Hoverboards using the power of the electric fan to make it rise in the air and can lift heavy to 242 pounds and float on the air for several minutes using smartphones to navigate. There is no special technique for riding hoverboards and no need expert trainer to teach you how to ride. Just read the simple manual, then you can fly. A history of hoverboards idea initially from the movie Back to the Future in 1989. After that, many video games and sci-fi movies, including animation, used it in the movie and game. Recently, with the major manufacturers use energy from the magnetic field in order to make hoverboard rise. Some company use the propeller to take the passenger fly in the air and can make it to rise above the ground to 50 meters. There are many companies to join with this company to produce it. We all know the benefit of hoverboards. It can easily ride on the air. However, there are safety risks. Carry it easy. If you want to buy a car motorcycle, you have to consider a lot of money, but hoverboards are cheaper. That is alternative for you driving to work. Environmentally friendly, rechargeable battery used for it and unused oil. Unlike the current system of transportation that emit carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, as hoverboards is pollution free. At Pleasant, some hoverboards can break the world record of moving long distance over 900 feet, and in height 16 feet in just 1.5 minutes by 8 propeller, which is key in enabling the board to float up. 8 propeller makes pressurized air to lifting it and fly farther. Space rockets. The most exciting thing is you can escape from the world by jumping into the space rocket and soar into space. The rocket that seems to inspire us to step into the future. But the technology based on missile is developed from the 800 years ago at 13th century in China. As space exploration is the key to try to develop a rocket, it is very valuable and memorable in the outer space. At Pleasant, the rocket is very useful but was complicated and dangerous. How it works? Let's take a look. Space rocket is a vehicle with tremendous energy by putting the jet engine to transport people and equipment to the outside world into space, where the engine that carry oxygen to the body, because of outer space has not oxygen, it requires enormous energy and speed to escape from gravity force, which relies on largely driven the rockets push out. The work of rocket engines. The biggest part of the rocket is propulsion system that make it soar into the sky. It looks different from the jet plane or vehicle have on the planet because it must take the oxygen in the air come with a rocket. The engines at one space rocket derives liquid fuel such as hydrogen oxygen liquid that is pumped into large tanks with the fuel component. Then both of the fuel and oxygen is pumped into the combustion chamber size. The explosion occurs causes a huge driving force as part of the oxygen in the air to propel the rocket to the outside world.